going to work. Apologies with what happened last time. It hasn't quite happened on here yet, though, has it, David?
No.
Let's... Yay! Do say hello if you're able to see us. Hopefully you can. Hello, yes, lots of people. Yes. Apologies, in all the time that I've been doing live shows, I've never had it where the internet just failed. It just said, cannot connect anymore, goodbye, the end. So we're all here. Hello, there are 86 of us. Hopefully I've managed to set the other video to unlisted. So, yes, Daphne, shush. So hopefully there'll be nobody over there now, and then everybody will be here. Because there was, at one point, 105 people waiting on that other video. So there's 86 now, so a few people are over there. So lots and lots of people saying hello. As I said, we're on 86 people so far. David and I, this is the moment that the video failed, when David and I held hands. This has become David and I's big... This is where we sit now, isn't it?
These are our
David
new
likes to sit there
friends.
because he's right under the good light for the
Cross
cross
stitching.
stitch. I get this light for the cross stitch, which whilst is fine, I'd rather be there. But I'll let my husband do it. He's there, comfy. I'm on the new sofa.
In my absence, you're more than welcome to use it.
Thank
if
you.
you ask.
Thank you. I will. Lots of people here. Just getting in the bath, says Catherine.
Nice.
Also, I've just had a meeting with my fellow All About the Archers podcast hosts. There was a lot of typing, there was a lot of talking, and I feel like my voice isn't as lubricated as it was before. Zoe said, didn't know this was happening. Suzanne says, hello from Manchester. Naomi says, loves my cardigan. Thank you so much. My sister-in-law got it for me for Christmas. It's from Sainsbury's. It's very, very cosy. And I've got a t-shirt on that says Shelf Love because I wanted something, and look at these trousers, it all matches, doesn't it? I wanted something bookish themed on. Hi, Martha. Martha saying I'm close to Glasgow. Eva saying we look peak cosy. I do feel quite cosy. You might be able to hear Daphne in the background meowing because she's desperate for her dinner.
Fish is cooking.
Oh my God, there's 181 people watching.
Wow.
On a Sunday night. And to think, I'm giving up my Call the Midwife for this.
Oh, yeah. And pottery.
And pottery, but nice.
This might take a sharp dive at 8 then.
No, because now, if the internet fails again, people will think the internet is failing because I'm going to watch
Call the Midwife.
But that's not what's happening at all. Lindsay says hello. Shauna says hello. Hello from Utah. It's currently noon in Utah. Edie Lewis Bess says, love that cardigan, thank you. Becky says, hello from Lancaster, starting a new job tomorrow. Woo! So excited for a chill night. Oh, perfect. Amanda says, Lauren, you look like you're ready to lead a library story time. Oh, I would like that. There we go. Lucy says, hi, reading and watching live. Alison says, hi from New York, NYC, perfect excuse to stop cleaning. Zita says, it's the first time I managed to join a cosy reading night. So happy. Roving Reader says, I love those books, but can't handle the screaming in the TV show. I don't know what book that is. Maybe we've missed something. Michelle says, Shelf Love, very Mr. Collins from Pride and Prejudice. Unintentional Minimalist says, hi, Lauren and David. Ali says, just ironing whilst listening. Nearly then let the reading begin. Lovely. Oh, Linda's feeling very sorry for himself. He's got COVID again. Might have to watch from bed. Get in bed and get cosy. Ashley says hello from Leeds. Lavisa says hello from Stockholm. Joe says hello from Northumberland. Lil's Vintage World says, hello, how is Daphne? Is she fully settled in now? She's absolutely fully settled in. She's living her high life here with us at her every whim. Whatever she wants to do, we'll do. If she wants to play, we'll play. She wants to sleep, we'll let her sleep. She wants to eat, we'll get her dinner ready for her. Paige, hi, Lauren and David. Currently 2 p.m. in Ontario, Canada, and we're finally getting some sun. Happy cosy read night. What are you going to do now?
Sort our fish out.
Sort our fish out. Lovely stuff. So lots and lots of people. 218 of us so far. Dave and I are getting very cosy.
Yeah.
Did you hear a meow? I'll wait till David gets back to talk you through what he's planning on reading, although you may well have seen the Cosy Reading Night TBR that we put up this morning with David bum shuffling off the screen. The books have very much remained the same, so I've still got 5 on the potential, but I have started one of them. I've been in the throes of filming a Friday reading vlog that I started filming Friday, filmed a little bit yesterday and a little bit today. I need to wrap it up at some point, so I'll probably wrap it up once we finish the 3 hours of full-on cosy. David and I have had our dinner. We had vegetarian toad in the hole with mash, and carrots and peas and Brussels sprouts, and that was delicious. So not so much food will be going on tonight, although I did just get sent my edition of Delicious magazine, and I got a free chocolate bar in there, which is Chocolada Craft Chocolate Makers Wild Gorse Flour. We're going to see if I like it. I don't think David's going to like it. It's in lovely packaging. It's all plastic free. Oh, God. Do I want to try a bit now? I'm going to try a bit now. I'm really, really excited about it. It's all in a different way. It's nice. Warm toasted coconut. David would not like that. With hints of fudge and hazelnut, ending in a light red fruit. I bet I eat that whole bar. You can tell my period's coming.
Cool down.
I don't think you'll like this chocolate at all, David. Do you want to try it?
Break me off the tiniest bit. What flavour is it?
I'm not even saying.
Is it like elderflower? Or no, it's something weirder than that. Oh, God.
Oh, God. Going to move the camera just a little bit that way so you can get David in. Oh, around my... There we go. I don't want you to...
What flavour is it?
It's wild gorse flour, it says, but it's a warming toasted coconut with hints of fudge and hazelnut ending in light red fruit.
It's the coconut.
It's the coconut. Right, lovely stuff. So Zoe says she's going to crochet for the first hour. Beautiful. I bet, David, nice. I bet you wish you were cross-stitching.
I do wish I was cross-stitching.
You can't.
Well, no, I've got an audio, but I want to listen to
What have you got?
I want to listen to the Shangli
Do you mean Simu Lu?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of the actual living Marvel character who plays. Yeah, Simu Lu.
Have you got that then?
It is available on thingy. So we'll see how this. If I get into this, then I will. But if not, then maybe I'll change it up and do that.
No.
That's an option.
Sean has just said that they need to go and run some errands later. That's David's favourite ever thing to do. Will this do live stay up? Yes, it will. Paige says, any cake this weekend? I made cupcakes. Yes, I made a coffee and marmalade cake, which David hated, but went down very well with my family. Robin is with David, no coconut. Eva says, I've coordinated my reading, a passage to India and my food, but the delivery is going to be an hour late. Oh no, Eva. Jane says, hello everybody, just had a pasta bake and ready to feel cosy. Oh, pasta bake. I'm knitting an audio book in this afternoon, starting Come and Get It by Kylie Reid. I need to get my hands on that, whether or not I listen to the audiobook of it. Probably won't be able to now because I've given up. Oh, I wonder if it's on Spotify, because I've got Spotify Premium, so I think I can't look because we're doing this on this phone. Lovely stuff. How's the toad in the hole? It was top, wasn't it? Lovely. So
it was really nice.
As you can see, the camera's quite far away, and the setup here isn't quite as it was. So like normally I have the laptop on me, but it's there. But so I'll be looking at some of the comments, but there's loads of you here. There's 258 people.
Wow.
David. So
all to see me.
All to see David. So I think we're going to start by talking about the books we're planning on reading. So we already did this in the TBR this morning when you saw David bum shuffling. But David, just to reiterate, what will you be reading?
I'm reading 3 Hours by Rosamund Lupton. So it's about is it a lower school, a middle school?
A school.
A school where there's a shooting and there's like gunmen in.
It's in the UK.
It's set in the UK, but I am reading it like it's set in America. I think it's also because the spelling is Americanized as well.
It?
Yeah, like Z's where there should be S's.
Oh, I didn't notice that at all.
Well, it's because when I do a lot of subtitling for work, sometimes I forget to change it from English to English UK. Boring facts, but anyway. Yeah, so this is set over 3 hours of that shooting. Of terrorist attack, like terrorist. Yeah, I suppose so. And yeah, you loved it, didn't you?
Oh my god, I loved it.
Liam
also loved it.
I've not gotten to grips with it yet, but I'm hoping a good sesh now will be what I need to really grab me.
Nicholas said, I've just finished 3 hours. It was terrifying. I also found it terrifying towards the end.
Okay.
So real. But yeah. I read it just after Christmas or in between Christmas and New Year. And I picked it up, and it did take me a couple of chapters to get into it, but then I was just absolutely sucked in, and David hasn't quite made it there yet.
No.
But we're hoping that tonight,
will be the night.
3-hour session, reading 3 hours, should get him there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, will you try to finish 3 hours in these 3 hours, says Eva.
No, I won't
I
get
don't
that
think
done.
he'll do that, but
I'm not that good and quick enough of a reader.
And Chris saying, I really want to read 3 hours. Thoroughly enjoyed books.
Just call
Had Toad in the Hole in the oven, and we'll be listening to the audiobook of Satanic Verses for the first half, and then reading Babel for the last half. Ali loved 3 hours. There we go. Lovely stuff. Okay, so that's what David's reading. I've got 5 books. So, oh my god, these are so heavy. It's because they're audiobooks. I'm not going to, not audiobooks, because they're graphic novels. I have already started reading The Curfew by T.M. Logan. I am 135 pages into it. It is gripping. It's not as gripping as I've found 3 hours, but it is a book about a young lad who has just finished his exams, out celebrating. You're hearing about this from the father's perspective, and he misses his curfew. He's due to come home by midnight, and they hear what they think is him getting home, but it turns out that wasn't him coming home at his curfew, and then the fallout from that, what had been going on once he'd missed his curfew and things like that. What I will say, for 135 pages, not all that much has happened. But yeah, I say, so he's penned here as the master of the up all night thriller. But yeah, I'm going to keep it. I've never read anything by T.M. Logan, but we'll keep going with it. The other book I have was another thriller, which I won't get started tonight because I'll be reading this and finishing this, I mentioned. But that's Girl 11. And then I've got 3 graphic novels. I think I'll start with Welcome to St. Hell by Lewis Hancock, my trans teen misadventure. Also because I've got to take some books back to the library because I've got 30 out at the moment and I can only have 30 and I've got 3 more to pick up. So if I could get this finished tonight, then great. I'll probably get this finished either today or tomorrow, and then I might start on Genderqueer. And then Ducks is from another library, so I've got a little bit more time with that one. But Ducks I'm very, very excited about. So there we go. So I think the plan is crack on with The Curfew, then have a little dabble in Welcome to St. Hell. If I get that finished, which I don't think I will, we'll go on to Genderqueer. But these 2, Girl 11 and Ducks, take a bit of a back seat. So I'll pop those there because that's what's happening. Let's have a look. Katie says, I've just had potato and pea curry. Lovely. And baked a pumpkin loaf yesterday. So going to get a slice of that and a cup of tea, reading A Dowry of Blood this evening. Jane says, I'm going to be trying to finish Chain Gang All Stars tonight. I failed to finish it in time for book club and I'm not enamoured by it. I was not enamoured by it either. Susanna said, I really enjoyed The Curfew as an audiobook. It's read by Richard Armitage. Oh, very nice. And Pam says, Richard Armitage has a lovely voice for audiobooks. Hayley says, after I finished eating, I'll be reading Great North Road by Peter F. Hamilton. Oh my God, it's 1,100 pages. Whoa. Paula says, I love The Curfew. I'm reading The Centre by Aisha Manazir Siddiqui. It's great so far. And I'm eating some macaroni cheese. Lovely. Martha says, my TBR for the night is The Little Old Lady Strikes Back and Philippa Perry's new book. Birgit says, I'm starting The House of Dudley. Have any of you read it? Is it good? No, Birgit, but I have heard about it. And I think it's on my wish list or something. Let me know how you get on with it because I've heard about it and I'm interested in it very much. Lucy says, she's reading now. Alison says, I'm on volume 2 of Cazalet Chronicles. Big love heart. Robin said, reading The Buddha in the Attic. Nicola says, I'm reading The Twat Files by Dawn French. I've got a reservation on that through Borrow Box for the audiobook. And I'm going to start Exit by Belinda Bauer, which I think is a thriller. I think I might have read Exit. Or no, Snap I've read. She snapped. Lindsay says, I've got 15 pages of my current book, then I'm starting Tin Man by Sarah Winman. Very good. Sandy says, I'm reading Penance by Eliza Clark. I'm really enjoying it. Kat says, I will be finishing Black Horror Anthology Out There Screaming. Yeah. Amy says, I'm starting Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto. P.S. Every time I watch anything of yours, I admire your wallpaper choices so much. They're so cool. Thank you very much. I've got my dad to thank. Well, I mean, I picked it, but my dad put it up. But yeah, it is a good wallpaper, isn't it? Joe says, I'm reading Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's been on my TBR for ages. Read that earlier this year. Amanda said, I'm hoping to finish Assassin's Apprentice. Oh, what you got there? Biscuits. You can tell I'm during my period because I just feel like I'm an endless cavern of hole that I can pick for. Is that for me?
Well, we've got a bar of chocolate.
That's true. Lovely stuff. Paying Guests by Sarah Waters, Emperor of Rome, Wellness by Nathan Hill, Live Bait, By the Sea. Lovely stuff. Loads and loads and loads of great books. Amazing. Really, really good. Right, okay, so it's 7:20. Thank you for bearing with us with the old technical problems at the top. Shall we give it a go until 7:45? So we'll do a 25-minute sesh. How does that sound for everyone?
Marvellous.
Let's get going. 25-minute sesh.
There's my pillow.
Where's David's pillar? And then we'll have another check-in and find out how everything's going. Let's go. We're going to go now until 7:45.
She's only investigating.
Daphne? No. No. Do not do that. You just got to the end of a chapter.
Mm-hmm.
What perfect timing, David.
Good. I was hoping I could last out the chapter.
How are you feeling a little bit
I tell
more
you what,
into it?
that chapter got me a little bit into it.
Oh.
Because this chapter was like the start of it. So Raffi goes to report the explosion
Yeah.
to the old school
Yeah.
headmaster, but he doesn't believe it. So then he goes and tells the news, the one who knows about it, because Raffi's from Syria, so his family's fled and he's got like PTSD. So that's what made, and so they all thought it was related. So the other headmaster thought it was related to that.
Yeah.
So the other one was just like, I'm not sure. So he's just started activating the Amber emergency protocol, which is to get all the junior kids out of the school and down onto the beach.
He's overacting, don't they?
Well, the old school, like one of the headmasters does.
Yeah.
But not Mr. Marr. Mr. Marr.
Yeah. Well, don't give too much away.
No, sorry.
That's definitely...
That all of a sudden, I could feel I was like, there's something happened, which is how I wish it started.
Yeah.
Instead of
But
them
I did
jumping,
say it took me about three or four chapters. 2 or 3, I thought, maybe.
So at the start of that chapter, I was like, I think I might give up on this. And then all of a sudden...
Something happened.
And I was like, well, actually...
Yeah.
Those last, 8 pages, I was like, oh, that started getting me a little bit tensio, which is what I want to feel from it.
He wants to feel tense, guys. Well, I've read quite a bit of The Curfew then.
How's your book going?
Well, it's going all right, thanks, David. Thanks for asking. It's the one thing I will find about books, I'm not a parent, nor do I desire to be a parent. And in this book, as I said at the beginning, a young lad has missed his curfew. He was due to come home at midnight after celebrating his exams. He's come home late. Anyway, he, as a result of something that happened that night, the police saw him fleeing from a nice house somewhere, got arrested, and there's now a girl who's gone missing. This is all said on the blurb. Do not worry, I'm not giving anything away. But the parents of this boy are like, I don't really want to ask him anything. Like, do you think he should... And just I'm like, your son's been arrested, and now there's a girl missing. Ask him stuff. I feel like they're really pussyfooting around their son, and I think...
Well, you don't know what kind of parents they are.
Parenting style, it's not my go-to thing to enjoy.
We want instant answers.
I do want instant answers, and also my mum would have just been like, "You ain't leaving this house until I get some answers from your girl."
Is it set in today's?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's parenting was a lot different.
Parenting different, wasn't it? Right. Let's see how everyone else is getting on. Deirdre's just finished A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I love that book. I need to reread it and continue with the series because I really enjoyed it. I think Becky Chambers is becoming one of my favourite authors, about to start Hound of the Baskervilles for Holmes on the Range. Very different books there. Alina says, I'm reading The Five by Hallie Rubenhold in the German translation. I listened to the audiobook of that. It's great. It's a book about the 5 victims of Jack the Ripper, but focusing on them as opposed to them being the 5 people that Jack the Ripper murdered. It's focusing on their lives and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Very, very
on the
good
build-up, on the lead-up to...
Well, just their lives, just because they're just not even given names. They're just reduced to, they're prostitutes. That's sometimes Jack the Ripper killed prostitutes. That's what you hear. Enjoyable. I started chapter 15, but it seemed like the editor quit after chapter 12. So many typos and missing words. Oh, that's the same. Sean is reading Penance by Eliza Clark. I have not read it. Pam says, I read the majority of a short story in The Winter Spirit. It's very good. Lucy's almost finished her first book. Listening to Disobedient by Elizabeth Fremantle, not heard of that. 112 pages into The Appeal, and I'm living for the bitchiness. Do you wish you were reading The Appeal for the first time again?
Always. It's my favourite book I've ever read.
Jennifer says, I'm rereading Girl, Woman, Other, this time on audio. It's excellent. Yeah, the audiobook of Girl, Woman, Other is particularly good. Some of the formatting in Girl, Woman, Other, though I loved it, I found the formatting a bit difficult. But yeah, so the audiobook is great.
Oh, God.
What is the book that David's reading again? David, would you please tell them?
3 Hours
by
Rosamund Lupton.
Lovely, good. Dan says, just about finishing Blueberries by Alina Savage. It's a collection of essays, and some I love, some I don't. I think I'm clever enough for. Yeah, I get that a lot when I'm reading essays. Nia says, about halfway through A Good Guy's Girl to Murder. David's read that and loving it. I think you both enjoy it as it's mixed media. We've both read it.
Yeah.
David read it a couple of years ago, and I read it when we were on our honeymoon last year.
Yeah. And there's a TV series of it this year. On BBC, I think.
Oh, is there?
I'm sure I've seen...
Oh, that's exciting. Linda says, I'm reading The Vulnerables by Sigrid Nunez, set during lockdown. No getting away from COVID, yeah. Beth says, only 114 pages left in a book I've been reading since January the 1st, Gardens of the Moon. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Annika says, I loved A Long Way to an Angry Planet and the second one. Becky Chambers has a talent on making it relatable, even if it's sci-fi, absolutely. Gail says, I've just DNF'd The Fury by Alex Michaelides, and it's about to start non-fiction Revenge by Michael Cohen. Third book of Robin Hobb's Live Trader series, so good. I really feel like I need to give Robin Hobb's another go. So many people love their writing. I'm listening to Clyde Monestra audiobook. I might need to switch to physical book because I'm struggling to keep the characters straight. Those like historical myth retellings, there's always so many characters, and I always find that they've got really similar names as well.
Yeah, you said that in the past.
I don't love them, if I'm honest. Dan says, have you seen they're making Hamlet with Paul Mescal? I have seen that. I've also seen that he's been cast as William Shakespeare, even though William Shakespeare is not mentioned at all during the book at all. So there's a book called Hamlet by Maggie O'Farrell, which won the Women's Prize a couple of years ago. And it's about the death of William Shakespeare's son.
Oh, okay.
And his name is Hamlet. And William Shakespeare isn't mentioned once in the whole book. But Paul Mescal's been cast as him. So, yeah, there we go. Deborah says, listening to A Wrinkle in Time and rereading The Women in the Snow. Lovely to spend the evening with you. And you! Perry says, I'm rotating between The Bandit Queens by Perini Shroff and Kate Atkinson's latest Shrines of Gaiety. Enjoying both so far. I've read both. Raven Reader says, I'm reading The Reformatory by Tanariva Dew and was getting really good when we stopped. Martha says, The Little Old Lady Strikes Back is fine so far. The writing isn't amazing, but it's fun. About the League of Pensioners, who are a modern take on Robin Hood, robbing the rich to feed the poor. Louise is 63% into House of Flame and Shadow. Shauna says, have you read Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen before? No, I've not even heard of it. A witchy cozy book about sisters that has practical magic vibes. Nice. Oh, so Dan went to see the play of Hamlet the other day, and Will is in it nearly the whole way through. That's
why they've got Mescal.
Oh, so Lucy is next going to read Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. That's another book that I read on my honeymoon last year. They're all coming up. Heidi says, I'm reading Ellie Middleton's Unmasked. I was diagnosed ADHD a year ago and it's been lovely to see myself on the page after a lifetime of feeling like a weirdo. Isn't it wonderful how books can do that? I'm so pleased, Heidi, that you are finding that in a book. And Zoe's about halfway through A Crochet Hat. Lovely. So Jennifer is reading Good Girl, Bad Blood, which I think is the second in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder book. I think you might own that. You definitely had the second one. You bought it for the honeymoon. Because I remember thinking, if I really loved the first one, I know you've taken the second one. I'm sure it's called Good Girl, Bad Blood.
It might be.
I didn't love Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I thought it was fine, and I thought it was good.
I don't remember what happened.
It was about a young girl a girl in school investigating the murder of another girl, and someone who's been, sorry, I've got really itchy nipple, and someone who's been falsely accused, and she's looking into, and I think he committed suicide off the back of being falsely accused, and she's looking into it. She's looking into it with his brother.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the second one's about.
That was good. I did enjoy it.
Michelle says, I'm sure we see Shakespeare in the book. We see him putting the play on and his home away from the family, unless I've dreamt this somehow. I think so, but I don't think his name, like as William Shakespeare, is mentioned. I think she's just referring to him as her husband.
Big Will.
Yeah, Big Will, Drew Hill. Lavisa says, I'm taking the Cosy and Cozy Reader Night seriously, so I'm rereading the Narnia series. Oh, stop it. Pam says, he's in the book a lot of the time, it's just that his name isn't used. Thank you, Pam. It's always like my husband. I thought so. Gail said, I'm reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Loving the Cozy Reading chat. Annette's reading Homecoming by Kate Morton. Enjoying it so far. I also really enjoyed Sarah Addison Allison's book and also endorse Garden Spells like Shauna above. I'm reading Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. It is beautiful but devastating. Jennifer says, yes, it's the second book. And Michelle says, I see apologies. Don't be apologetic. Don't apologise. Don't apologise. Ruby says, I'm reading Howard's End but struggling with it a bit. Have you seen All of Us Strangers with Paul Mescal? I watched it on Friday and it broke me. Heidi? Ruby, sorry. I was crying in Lidl afterwards, weren't I, David?
Yeah.
Crying so much over it and just singing... was it It's a Sin? No, it wasn't. It was that Frankie Goes to Hollywood Christmas song.
Power of Love?
The power of love. Oh, I was crying singing that. So yeah, very, very good.
It's fun for me.
What, me crying in Lidl? Did you find it sad though? We
find it
won't
sad.
give any spoilers about the book.
But yeah,
About
I
the
did
film?
I did find it sad, but no, not as sad as you. But I wonder if you find it sad because it had Andrew Scott in it, and you love him.
I think I would have found it sad anyway. I can't tell you the reason I found it so sad because it's a massive spoiler. But yeah, I found it so sad. Rachel says, loved All of Us Strangers, can't stop thinking about it. Shauna wants to watch All of Us Strangers so bad. Beth says, Miss mentioned Garden Spells, absolutely love that book. Sarah Addison Allen is one of my favourite authors. When you said you're crying in Lidl before, I kept thinking it's the UK version of crying in H Mart. Yeah, I guess it was. And I was crying in Lidl. Just kept coming over me like a wave, didn't it? I'd sort of forget about it and then I'd remember like one key thing and think, oh, and then it would just be, I'd be beside myself again. Jenny says, All of Us Strangers also broke me. Andrew Scott is so beautiful, so beautiful. Paris says, I'm reading The Reader by Bernard Schlink and I'm also reading A Suitable Boy for Read Along, otherwise it would never happen, too intimidating. Read a bit of both. Emily says, I'm reading Outlander for a reading challenge. Dan says, I cry at everything and genuinely worried about seeing it as I'll be an emotional wreck. Yeah, I was very emotional about it. We also watched Belfast this week, which I was so emotional about. So, like, I was really, really upset about it. So, yeah, that's because I'm due on my period, I think. But, yeah, I do get emotional about things. I've seen some really good... Although I didn't have a great reading month in January, I saw some absolutely banging films in January. Katie says, my T-shirt was sopping from Catch Me My Tears after All of Us Strangers. And Dan says, but I'm going to watch it because, you know, Andrew Scott. Michelle says, Andrew Scott, he will be the new Ripley. He is going to be in the new Ripley, yeah. So David and I have been making a list of films we want to watch this year because I pledged to watch a film at the cinema and a film at home. And one of them is, I've never seen The Talented Mr. Ripley, and one of my films is that.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, before the new Ripley. I don't know if it's going to be a series or if it's a film, the new Ripley with Andrew Scott in it. Yeah, I don't know. And there we go. Susanna said, I cried my way through All of Us Strangers, started crying when Andrew Scott's character went back to his childhood and never really stopped after that. Absolutely. Annika says, David, what was your favourite film you watched in January?
When did I see American Fiction? Was that in February? Or I think that was in January. Yeah, American Fiction. Absolutely loved it.
When did we watch Belfast? Was that February?
I think it... No, I think it was... No, I think we've only seen Argyle in February.
Oh, what a show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because we watched it on Thursday and I think that was the 31st.
But I also
Belfast.
loved All of Us Strangers. I loved Poor Things too. And I really did enjoy Saltburn a lot. So yeah, lots of good films. Paris says, film tips. Belfast made me sob too, made me miss my grandparents so much. So sad. And just so, like, the atrocities that went on there and how they were so, like, normal to the people that lived there and, like, them running in their houses and knowing what to do when, like, something like that was happening. It's just upset me so much. Jessica says, I saw The Colour Purple this week and weeped throughout, especially at the end. Oh, we were going to go and see it this morning. We were booked in to see it, but we changed our minds, didn't we?
Yeah, we think we might go and watch. Yeah, we just didn't really feel it, did we?
I wanted to do my chores. Let's have a look. Jennifer says, oh, please share the list. So you can always see what David and I have watched on our Instagram. So I'm Lauren and the Books over on Instagram. David is Beardy David.
Yeah.
And do you save yours as highlights of films that you watch?
I do.
So we both save the films that we watch.
Or if you use Letterboxd, I'm on Letterboxd, which is an app where you can just keep a tally of the movies you've watched and make them into lists and stuff. And I'm also Beardy David on there. So if anyone wants to come and be my friend
please
on
do.
Letterboxd.
Go and be his friend.
I love using Letterboxd. If I didn't have that, I would not remember. I'd probably say about 70% of the movies that I watch.
Well, I sometimes have to ask David about, I'm like, what is this film? Because I write them down, I put them on the Instagram now, which I didn't do last year, and I write them down in my reading journal. But last year I remember being like, what is this film I've written down?
Yeah.
And sometimes I can work out what I've watched, because we do watch a lot of the same films together because we go to the cinema together and stuff like that, so... There we go. Pam says, I'm sure I read that the new Ripley is a series. Interesting, thank you, Pam. Laura says, I'm reading The Killing Kind, which is just okay, and my husband Fraser is reading Unruly, which I know you didn't get on with an Audible. Yeah, I wonder if I'd have read it.
The David Mitchell one?
Yeah, so we bought it for David's dad for his birthday. I was also thinking about buying it for my dad as well. Both of our parents quite into the royal family and like the history of that. And I thought David Mitchell, his humour would come through on it. But to be honest, the audio of it was just his voice just shouting at me the whole time. And it just felt like I was being like told off by a history teacher. And I didn't get on with it at all. So I wonder if maybe once your dad's read it, I might have another go of it. Because already like there was stuff in there that was interesting, but I couldn't get past this voice being like, oh, for God's sake.
That's a very good impression.
Is it? Dan says, I very rarely cried because of books, but I finished Prophets on the other day and did not anticipate the big fat tears I had. Oh. Katie said, we saw American Fiction last night. It was really good. I'm gutted I missed American Fiction.
It'll be back on.
So David went to see a special cinema screening of it because we're members of our cinema and loved it. And then we were watching Graham Norton and they were talking about it even more because they had Kevin Stay Brown on it. And I'm desperate to see it. So there was only that one screening, and I don't know why I didn't go. I just had stuff to do.
I think you was doing the Archer stuff and bits and pieces.
So yeah, I really want to see it.
But I'm hoping that our local cinema, as the Oscars approach, I'm certain they did it last year, that they kind of played all of the best pictures, because I really want to watch the Zone of Interest.
Somebody
as well.
else saying American Fiction's so good. Books and Tea with Chloe says, I saw One Life last weekend and it was amazing, so emotional. Yeah, I was a bit frightened of it being overly emotional. One Life. Isn't it the one about the chap who helped save the...
Oh, it's the Andrew...
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah.
God,
we had a really hard time remembering his name the other day.
We did, yeah.
I have been concerned about being so upset about that. Liz says, dropping by a little late. Hello, but I'm happy to see a cosy reading night on my birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday!
Liz. Thank you. I hope you're reading something fun. I'm listening to Under the Dome by Stephen King. Pam says David Mitchell can be a bit ranty and long bursts, even though he's funny. Heidi thinks my impression's dead on, David. Leanne, I have seen Saltburn and I very much enjoyed it, but my God, there were some moments in that film, wasn't there? Liz says, love your Cosy Reader Night TBR video so much, by the way, your guys are so funny. Stop it! Susanna says, I enjoy David Mitchell's rants on panel shows, but those are shorter and I don't think I could make it last for a whole book of that. Yeah, I think
I can imagine that, yeah.
So I gave up on it. Ali says, I'm reading the second of the Cazalet Chronicles. You lucky thing. Being second of the Cazalet Chronicles. I'd like to get my hands on the series of that and watch that this year, as in the TV series. Katie says the screening we went to had a Q&A with the director, Jeffrey Wright and Sterling K. Brown after. It was so interesting.
That's cool.
David's didn't have that, but... Dan says, they're showing Andrew Scott in Vanya at the cinema this month. I'm going to watch it. National Theatre Live show and it looks amazing. Yeah, it does. Natasha says, hi guys, sorry I'm late. We were eating a roast dinner. Enjoy it, Natasha. Have you watched Leave the World Behind film? David watched it last year, didn't you?
Yes, that's the...
Julia Roberts and...
Yes, yeah.
I always forget his bloody name.
Josh Hartnett?
No, the black guy. Oh my God, what's his name?
I can't even picture...
Mahershala Ali? Is that his name? But yeah, that film.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but David did.
Yeah.
What's David's name on Letterboxd, please? Would love to see your reviews.
Beardy David. It's the same on everything.
Beardy David.
Beardy David.
Natasha's reading All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Pam's about to start the third Cazalet book. I'm trying to eke them out. Eke them out, Pam. Eke them out. Yeah, they were just a joy. They were such a joy to me last year. I loved them so much, and I need to go to more Elizabeth Jane Howard, really. So if anyone's got any recommendations of more Elizabeth Jane Howard that I'm going to love as much as the Cazalets, I just don't know if I will love anything as much as I love those. They were so good. Your mum bought me the first two, and then I read the rest. And then I read the last one, like, on the run-up to Christmas, because it was set over Christmas. Loved it. Thoroughly enjoyed books. Says, Toad in the Hole, demolished audiobook smashed. Now to settle down with Babel and a hot chocolate until bedtime. Abigail says, part of the Joining In at 8 o'clock club. Currently reading The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axel O. Korean YA folklore. Very good and cosy. Oh, great. Dawn says, hi, it's my first weekend in my new flat. Think I'd spent the day traipsing around looking for the flat on a spring cosy reading night. Wow, just finished Light Housekeeping by Jeanette Winterson. Katie says, thank you. Mahershala Ali. I haven't watched it yet as the book stressed me out. Yeah, the book did stress me out too. Pam says, I only found the Cazalet books through you, Lauren, so thank you. You're welcome. My cardigan is from Sainsbury's. Although before Christmas, so I don't know if those sort of things are still in. I saw somebody else wearing it. Somebody I follow on YouTube for Lush reviews was wearing it, and I thought, yeah, nice. It's very nice and warm. Right, okay, so should we just have a little quick 10 minutes? So we'll just go till 1:15.
Hold on, how long is the chat?
It's not that long, I checked already. You get that done in 10 minutes.
Maybe 15. I'm not quite as fast.
We'll go till 20 past, and then that can be us going to make a cup of tea break after that. So we'll go till 20 past.
We'll go until David's done this chapter.
It's 4 minutes past 8, so we'll go till 20 past. Let's go. quite good at predicting how long things are going to take you to read, David. How did that do
Yeah,
for you?
another good chap. Another
good chap. There we go. Lucy's just finished the first book. Well done, Lucy. Right, do you want to go make a cup of tea?
Yes, I do.
Go make a cup of tea. And I think I'm going to read a little bit more. I might actually just get to the end of this chapter and then start on Welcome to St. Hell. I want to see how David's getting on. Barbara's just back from making herself a cup of tea, changing the book now. Lovely. Let's see how long David's got in this next chapter. Oh, again, not too long. There we go. He's doing very well. I'm glad this is getting him into it because I was thinking, when I was reading it, he was so excited at how into it I was. I didn't want him to then be disappointed by it. Lucy's been reading all day. Wow, we were. Right, okay, I'm just going to, just for 2 seconds, I'm just going to get a bookmark for this book that I'm going to start once I finish this. So 2 seconds, then I've got to talk to you about live shows. But I literally will be 2 seconds, I'm just going over here. You can have a look at my t-shirt while I'm up. Shelf Love. Isn't that cool? Just needed a little stretch of the old legs as well, I think. Lovely stuff. Oh, 2 of your 3 cats have come and curled up next to me while I read and trying to eat the corners. Daphne's very sort of fair-weathered in terms of like sitting on your lap. Sometimes she really, like, she's not interested in it, but then sometimes she'll come over and lay on my lap for ages. Yeah, it's still like, I think it's because she's young and wants to be playing all the time, like laying down. Normally she's like just wanting to be playing, or she likes to lay underneath our heated area because it's really nice and warm in there. So yeah, I don't get much lap time with her, but then sometimes she'll just come over and sit on my lap and really surprise me. Lovely stuff. Right, well, whilst David's making me that delicious cup of tea that I am so coveting, I thought I'd just have a quick chat with you about live shows. So these Cosy Reading Nights that we do as a live show, I very much enjoy it, and I'm so happy that there's 287 of you here tonight, which is so wonderful. And then during Vlogmas that wasn't Vlogmas because it got too much for me, as it always does, I did a live show where I wrapped some Christmas presents and had a chat with you and stuff, and it got me thinking about live shows. So I've already got a live show planned for this month and next month because I want to do a reaction video to the Women's Prize for Fiction, Women's Prize for Non-Fiction long list, which is coming up next Thursday, the 15th I think it is, and then next month the Women's Prize for Fiction long list will be announced in March, and there'll be a reaction show to that. But I was wondering how you guys would feel about a few more live shows. So I was thinking maybe a sort of like cross stitch with me and David, so a little bit like this, but we sit here and cross stitch and have a chat, or one where I'm maybe cooking on a Friday. I was thinking about my Friday reading vlogs and the things that I do in there, which really enjoy, and I was wondering if maybe one Friday I did a live show of me cooking one of the cakes out of the books. You'll know how much I've got into cleaning and stuff this past year. There's Daphne under the table. So I was wondering how you'd feel about maybe me doing a cleaning live show. What do you think? So yeah, tell me your thoughts. Let's have a look. Yes to live shows, I love them, says Rachel. Oh yes, please. Eva says bring them on. And Jenny says I love a live show, makes me feel much less alone at home. So yeah, because I was thinking about during lockdown when these live shows, well when we used to do Cosy Reading Night every other Friday, and like sometimes it'd be a live show on here, sometimes it'd be on Instagram, sometimes we do a vlog and stuff like that. Like I do enjoy doing the live shows and I like the interaction like we're having right now. So yeah, I just thought maybe bring in a few more extra bits. But yeah, let's have a look. Heidi says my partner works offshore and I love live shows when he's away and I'm home alone. Great. Leanne says would love a cross stitch live. Thoroughly enjoyed book says I find cleaning live shows really motivating to do my own cleaning. I've never watched a cleaning live show before, so maybe I should watch one of those before I decide. But I was thinking maybe I'll pick a room and then just clean it and then talk you through what I'm using. Emily says, I love live shows, any topics you want. Birgit says, love live shows. So yes, please. Pam says, cleaning, yes, it would encourage me to get off my arse and clean. Beth says, I love a live show. Dan says, I love live show. I live by myself and it's like having a lovely bookish friend zapped into my room for company. That's great. Amy says, cross stitch live show will be absolutely lovely. I can join you in crochet. Yeah. Hayley says, yes to more live shows. How about a clean along and a cook a cake along? Very good. Ruby says, absolutely. Love your cleaning videos, so a live show would be great. Cross stitch along would be great. Okay, great. So everyone's would love a live show. I live on my own and a live show would be great. Yes to all of the live shows. Yes to live shows. I enjoyed your Instagram step streams. Yeah, they're going to be coming up again soon because I'm doing the steps challenge and I've been not hitting 10,000 all the time, so they'll be coming up. Love the live shows. Feels like I have a friend chilling with me. Barbara says, how many do you think you will predict from this year's long list? I feel it'll be once again be like 3. Yes to the live shows of any kind. Barbara, I'm not even doing a prediction video of the non-fiction because I'm just not up to date with what non-fiction's come out, so it's just going to be a reaction to the non-fiction list and whether or not I've heard of any of those things and whether or not I'm interested. I'm very excited about the non-fiction long list because non-fiction is a book is a genre that I don't often go to. And I think it's quite niche. I think sometimes you can get a fiction book about a topic that I wouldn't necessarily pick up, that I would still read and enjoy. But with non-fiction, I feel like some of those things are going to be quite niche. So excited about that. But in terms of the the fiction long list, I don't know. I haven't even thought of any predictions. I need to have a proper think about it. But I know I haven't been reading really recent books, so I doubt whatever the long list is, I've read many of, if any of them on them. Gemma says, love the live shows. Jessica says, I love the idea of a cross-stitching live show. I've recently gone back to an embroidery project that I abandoned. Watercolour live show, Martha, that's a great idea. Jo says, love the live shows. Present making live show, another great one, Martha. Thank you, Martha, for coming up with all the content ideas. Love live shows. Lucy would watch the cleaning live stream. You've inspired me to start cross-stitching too. I'd love any of those live shows. I'm really not sure what will be on the non-fiction long list. Maybe Alphabetical Diaries by Sheila Hetty. The only one I think that might be is Monsters that I'm reading at the moment, if it was out within the actual time frame that it needs to be out. Chris says, I don't see how I could predict non-fiction long lists as the possibilities are endless. Where to begin? Absolutely. Lucy says, I love your videos where you do a wardrobe sort out. A live show of those would be fab. Yes, that's a good idea. Because that'll be coming up soon because I'll need to get rid of some of the winter clothes out of it. So that's another one I can add. I look forward to your Women's Prize live reaction every year. Very excited to get to this year. Yeah. Ali says, yes, definitely for more live. How about doing a bit of art or craft? Yeah. Live show when you're getting your final steps of the day done. Okay. Like I used to do on Instagram. Jenny says, Storygraph says I read more non-fiction than fiction, which is wild, so I may end up reading the whole long list. That'd be great. I'm going to have a good go of reading both long lists. I'll start with the non-fiction one, and then the fiction I think is my priority. So once the non-fiction long list once the fiction long list comes out, that's when I'll pick that up. Emily says, game live show. Would love to see what games you're playing. Barbara says, Yellowface is kind of the only one I can think of for fiction. Yeah, I think so too. For non-fiction, I love it, but I don't know what it could be on it. Can't wait for Women's Prize for season. I know, and it's Irish Readathon season as well. So yeah, well, that's great news. If you did a cross stitch live, I could diamond paint along with you. Yeah, so maybe I'll do like a come and craft with me live, and I'll be doing cross stitch, and David will be doing cross stitch, and then you guys can come along and just do whatever you would want, and we can have a chat and that sort of thing. Yeah, so maybe I'll start thinking about scheduling one a month for something. So whether or not I do like a wardrobe sort out live show for the month, or a cleaning live show for the month, or a craft live show for the month, maybe a sort out of my bookshelves. Yeah, maybe I will do that. I enjoy the live shows, and I enjoy the immediacy of them all, and having you guys here and chatting and stuff like that in a way that we don't always get to do in the comments. So yeah, there we go. I think that's what we're going to do. So I think we've got 2 months worth of live shows coming up in terms of reactions. So we've got a reactions video of the Women's Prize non-fiction long list. That's coming up this month. Then the fiction long list. So maybe in April, I will schedule maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday a cleaning live. So maybe I'll do like come and clean your bathroom with me. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Right, okay. Michelle says a Claire Keegan book. As a Claire Keegan book, I think they might be too short. Because I think I thought before that they have to be a certain amount of words, and I think so late in the day it won't make it, unless I'm wrong. Dan says, oh, a movie watch along live where we all join in. Yeah, I don't know how we would do that as a live show, because obviously we couldn't play it through here because it would be annoying for people who are watching that, but Yeah, maybe we could do something about that. Pam said, I'd love to sit and do my jigsaw while you craft. I'm not very crafty. Well, there we go. Yeah, like any sort of stuff. Just like come and just have a chill time with me. How about a cake baking live show? I'm loving the baking inspo. Yeah, that was another thing because I've been enjoying doing that on a Friday during the Friday reading vlog. It would be nice to do the whole thing. Jessica says, I love the quiz you did at Vlogmas, would love another quiz. Yeah. Okay, so there's plenty of ideas here for live shows. So if I start thinking about doing a live show a month, we've got plenty to be getting on with, haven't we? Great. Thank you so much for all of your enthusiasm on it all. So Jenny said that she thinks that it's a 50,000 word minimum and I feel like I've got 50,000 words in my head as well. Smurf says, I second the wardrobe one. Loved the changeover videos vlog videos you've done previously. Thank you. Yeah, a jigsaw is a great idea. I need motivation to do some jigsaw. Maybe I'll do a whole jigsaw one as well because I quite enjoy doing a jigsaw. Also, somebody mentioned painting. David got me an amazing paint by numbers for our anniversary, which is a picture of us on our honeymoon that's a paint by numbers. He like uploaded it onto a website and then they make it into a paint by numbers. So yeah, I need to start that at some point as well. Oh, Lolly, I saw you mention this earlier. What happened to the Friday reading vlogs? They're still going. I've done 3 this year already, so I don't. They're all there on the videos. So yeah, go and have a look. I mean, you've got 3 to watch, so great news. And I've just filmed 1 now, so that'll be going up on Wednesday. So yeah, they're still there. They haven't gone anywhere. Nia says, when it gets lighter, live shows on a beach walk. Yeah, maybe that would be on the old 4G though, so I can't really rely on the internet. Also love the jigsaw and the quiz ideas. Would you and David audition for Traitors or would it be too scary? As soon as we watched Traitors, we were like, let's audition. And now I feel like I would be bad at it. I would be bad as a traitor. I would be terrible as a traitor. And I would also be very, very bad as a faithful. So I don't know what the point of me being on there would be. I don't think David wouldn't be able to cope with being a traitor.
No.
And how do you think you'd serve as a faithful, David?
I don't think I would like to be accused.
Yeah, so maybe you take it quite badly. So basically, I don't think either of us could cope with it.
No.
Is what I'm saying.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to be very good at convincing because I'd be like, look, I've told you I'm a faithful.
Yeah.
That's
It'd just be
all
wasting
you need to
your
know.
vote
Yeah.
if you vote for me.
Yeah.
So there we go. Lolly has said thank you. Love the reading vlogs being longer. Yeah, so Lolly, if you haven't watched any of the reading vlogs this year, we've got a few new bits in the Friday reading vlogs. So they're longer. They're over an hour now. And then within them, I do a little bit of baking, which is very nice. And we listen to a piece of classical music and have a little chat about that. And there's a new reading challenge. Jen Campbell, who you all know and love, has made me a little reading challenge box. So I've got that to do with lovely little gifts, including these little pins that I'm wearing right now. And also the ones that I didn't finish completing from my reading challenge last year. So yeah, a few new extra bits. Cheryl said I got a lot of jigsaws for Christmas and completed 3 of them already this year. Happy for a live with jigsaws or a quiz. Ali said you could do a read along of a particular book. We all read up to certain chapters, say about half hour, and then we discuss it so far. Yeah, that's a really nice idea, Ali. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go back through this and make a list of all of the wonderful live show ideas we've had. Katie says one of my main goals for this year is to use my stuff. I have a couple of it's a great that's what I've done with my cleaning products. Use your cleaning products. Couple of jigsaws, Lego, and paint by numbers, which I actually want to do. Yeah, we could do that. I could have a use your stuff live show, couldn't I? Chris says, have you seen the US version of The Traitors? What do you think of Alan Cummins versus Claudia? We haven't seen any other Traitors aside from the UK, but we're very keen to watch the US, and then we've heard that both of the Australian ones are now on iPlayer, so we will be watching those at some point. Pam says, YouTube has been weird with people's sub boxes lately. I need to sometimes check manually when I know someone uploads. Oh, okay. Yeah, Pam, I might have found that as well, because I remember not realising that somebody who I follow had uploaded their thank you, David, their best books of the year, and they had, so yeah, maybe we need to have a little look. Loving the longer Friday reading vlogs, and Jen's reading challenge prize is lovely. I work for Classic FM, so I'm glad you love it. Hayley, we love it. We love it so much.
Yeah.
And we love Alexander Armstrong.
Yeah.
And we also love Jonathan Ross's Friday and Saturday night
I love them.
show. We absolutely love them. So yes, pass it on to your place of work that we love it so much. How exciting that you work for them.
Mm.
Nia says, what magazine subscription do you have? I was gifted a BBC History magazine subscription for my birthday and it's great. I've just been kindly given a 6-month subscription to Delicious magazine, which I've also got a code for. So if you check up, I think it was my last reading vlog, but I'll be putting it in this reading vlog as well. They've given me a little code where you can get 3 issues for £1. But yeah, it's lovely. I mean, oh God, on the front of the one this time, it's like a chocolate, like, you know, like the chocolate cake you used to get at school, David? You know, that like sponge cake.
And they used to like pour like the custard.
Chocolate custard over it, yeah.
Over it, yeah.
It's on the front cover of the book of the magazine this month. It's amazing.
Can I just say, quite a few of you have started following me on Letterboxd, so thank you.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
Go and repay the follow.
Oh, okay. So Lolly said, I love the bacon bits. I think I missed last week's vlog or 2 vlogs. That's why I was worried. But I think my YouTube algorithm was being weird. No, they're still happening. I didn't do one, I think the week before last, because I had a lot of editing to do. And sometimes that Friday is my day to do YouTube. So if I don't get a chance, if I know I've got a lot on, I'm not going to do it. So yeah, there's basically going to be one every week, but maybe you've missed one. And there was a week where there wasn't one. So do not fear. The presenters are lovely in real life. I bet, Hayley. Oh, Hayley, I'm interested, if you don't mind sharing, what you actually do at Classic FM. Would be interested to hear.
Yeah, interesting.
Birgit says we have traitors in Denmark as well, and this year a 57. I don't know what that means. A 57. We have traitors in Denmark as well. And Pam says I have a BBC History and BBC Science magazine subscription. Love getting them every month. Oh, maybe I'll get my dad one of those subscriptions. I
maybe.
struggle to find things for him, so he would like a science or a history one. They're great ideas. Nadine says, hi from New Zealand, question for you both. Most anticipated film of the year? Oh, I don't really look at stuff that's coming out. I'm not very good, and even with books, I'm not good at what's coming out. David, what have you got that's anticipated film that's coming out this year?
Film-wise, If...
Oh yeah, I have no interest in that at all. And every time the trailer comes on at the cinema, which is basically every film we go to see, David gasps like he's never seen it before. He goes, so
I love
excited.
it when they bring like animation and real like Space Jam-esque.
Oh,
Always
God.
love it. Like old Who Framed Roger Rabbit. What else am I excited for? Deadpool 3.
Oh God, all of these I could give less of a shit about, and they've all got Ryan Reynolds in.
They have, haven't they? What else am I
We're looking forward to Wrexham being back on. Yeah, that I'm looking forward to.
I'm actually quite looking forward to Dune Part 2.
Oh God,
I'd
I'm
like
not
to watch
either.
the first one.
Oh my God, all of these things I just don't care about.
Yeah, well, I keep hearing that Paddington 3 is this year, but I don't think it is.
I think we would have heard more.
No, somebody has said that it's coming out in 2024, but I don't think it is.
Think so.
I think it is 2025.
So. I don't know anything. Sorry, I'm not a good person to ask about anticipated films and everything. So there we go. Right. Oh, Heidi has said Paddington 3. Radio 3 also has really good classical music programmes, I think so. I've also heard that. I was obsessed with the film Space Jam when I was younger. I'm excited about the new Furiosa film because I love Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, I've never gotten into it. I never watched Fury Road, but I'd be willing to give it a try to see, because it's got old... Oh my God, I love her. What's her name? She was in The Menu.
Oh
my God.
What is her name? She was in
she was
Peaky Blinders as well.
Yeah.
And Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy. I love Anya Taylor-Joy.
Hayley has said that they're not a presenter, but is a data analyst across our stations. Oh,
cool.
I love a job doing data analyst.
That's wicked.
Rachel says that Lauren's reaction is exactly the same as mine. What kind of tea are you having? Just a standard brown tea. We've got Yorkshire tea, haven't we, today?
We have. Lovely, lovely brown tea.
Annie Taylor-Joy, thank you. Lauren, you've totally got me into Classic FM and the Year of Wonder book. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Books for Hours, hello! Sorry I'm late. What are your predictions for Oscars 2024? Again, I'm not much of one for that.
No.
I'd like to see Emma Stone, just because I loved her in Poor Things so much. I'd like to see Emma Stone win the Oscar for Best Actress.
I'm hoping to try and squeeze in the holdovers before I miss it, because I would really like Paul Giamatti. Oh my God, I can never say his surname. Giamatti. I would like him to win it. And just because I've seen American Fiction, I don't think American Fiction will win Best Picture. I'm guessing, I haven't seen it, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, I just don't know if I can be bothered to sit through that. Or maybe I don't know if Oppenheimer will win it.
I haven't watched Oppenheimer, and I've not really got much interest in it, and I won't. I probably won't watch Killers of the Flower Moon either. So if either of those win, I'd like for the winners to be films that I've watched. But I'm aware that Oppenheimer's done very, very well in other stuff, so I'm predicting a lot of Oppenheimer stuff.
Well, because we still got to watch
We've got something
Society in the Snow or Of the Snow, which is the plane crash, which is on Netflix. I really, really want to try and watch Zone of Interest if that comes back out. I've heard that's pretty. Yeah.
Oh God, I've really got some fluff in my eye.
And I would also really like to try and watch Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh yeah. They were talking about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Cool. I see David using the Serious Readers Lab. I just got one and I love it. Oh, good. So David likes to sit there now because he is the cross-stitcher of the family and uses it. It's very good for cross-stitching, isn't it? I mean, it's very good for reading, but it uses Singer from what are they called? Sewing machine technology in those lights.
Oh,
so that's
cool.
why it's so good for crafts and stuff like that. Abigail says, a bit random, but Lauren, how goes the bird watching intentions? I've done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing. It was the big bird watch. Who's that little girl down there?
Hey.
Who's that little girl down there? I haven't done anything, but I need to. Rachel would really like to see Cillian Murphy win. Have you seen Anatomy of a Fall? No, we haven't. It's brilliant. My favourite film with the Oscar Best Film nominee. So great. Killers of the Flower Moon was awful and about 1.5 hours too long. That is what we've generally heard, actually, isn't it?
Like my boss is. He said he watched it in like 3 1-hour segments.
Oh God.
And I just don't like to do that with a film. It's like if I'm watching a film, I want to sit down and do it all.
Yeah.
But
so we listened to the Jonathan Ross and Honey Ross film podcast called Real Talk,
which we love.
Which we really love, and it's very interesting because Honey and Jonathan, whilst of the same family, they've got quite a lot of range between them of what they like and what they don't like. So you get quite a balanced view on a lot of stuff. But it tends to be that what they've said they've liked or what they've said they haven't liked, we've matched up, and they both really didn't like Killers of the Flower Moon. And Jonathan Ross said the same. It's about an hour and a half too long, and he loves. Who was the guy that did it?
Oh, Martin Scorsese.
Well, he loves him, so it was a big shocker.
Yeah, and what I really like about, because I've always enjoyed like Jonathan Ross when he used to do like the film review and thing, but I feel like he's even better now because he I'm guessing as a film reviewer you kind of got to hold back.
You can't say it's shit.
Yeah, you've
and
got to be.
He's not afraid to say that.
Yeah, exactly, and which is what I love, about how honest he is and how, because Honey also works. Honey works in the middle, and she's like a writer as well, and it's just a very interesting podcast, which is called Real
Talk.
REEL Talk.
Yeah.
If anybody
and
wants
they
to listen
mention
to it,
the Classic FM show that he does as well, because he does a Classic FM show where he plays music for the movies, and we fucking love it.
And I think the third bonus episode is a question that
David,
one of my questions answered.
So Annika has said the holdovers is amazing. Lauren, you would love it. It's set at Christmas. Yeah. So for that very reason, Annika, I want to save it and watch it at Christmas. David's keen to see it now. I just can't imagine. And Honey and Jonathan said the same. Why on earth they would put out a Christmas film in January?
It does seem weird.
It feels
because it
mad.
did come out before Christmas in America.
Yeah. So, Natasha said, David, me and Alex watched Chef a couple of weeks ago. Oh my God, what film? One of David's favourite films.
I haven't seen that in ages.
Society of the Snow is fantastic, says Paula. I was disappointed with Oppenheimer. Gemma said Oppenheimer was good, but I saw more of Cillian Murphy than I would have liked it. Book was good that it's based on. Books Flowers says I watched Past Lives recently and it was a nice story, but it was too slow. Kate says I love Mossy, haven't seen it for a while. Kate, I would really recommend the podcast. It's very film based, but also it's just nice to hear a father-daughter dynamic chatting about stuff as well.
Yeah, they get on really well, don't they?
Who's this? Come here so we can all look at you because you're so pretty.
I enjoyed Past Lives. Oh, yeah, I agree. It was
She
reasonably
does not
slow.
respond to patting. If this was Minnie, she'd be up here all over. Come on.
And she doesn't really love blankets, does she?
Come on, you coming up? She sometimes likes this.
Yeah. Well, you can't be sitting there doing that for 20 minutes, so...
I'm tired of all these long movies. No movie should be 3 hours. Ridiculous. Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon were way too long for no reason. I said the same. 100 minutes. That's all you get.
Yeah, we went to watch Argyle on Friday. I mean, the movie was pretty rubbish anyway, but the fact that it was 2 hours and just under 2 hours and 20 minutes, far too long. Far too long for a movie of that calibre. Doesn't need to be like that. It's silly.
That's why I loved it. Richard E. Grant on Between the Covers. He was honest about not liking all the books. Yeah, that is the only thing I will say about Between the Covers. I love that show, but very rarely
true.
they say they don't like the book. So
Yeah.
I would really appreciate that. That's also when I watch booktubers. Often, if someone just loves all the books, I'm like, I like some balance. I like some balance.
Because everybody's different, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is gonna dislike it, but.
Katie says, sounds like a great podcast. Do they give spoilers in the reviews? I wouldn't be confident in saying no, they don't. I've got a feeling there might have been a few spoilers in there, so they don't bother me at all. So that's probably why I don't.
If I'm on, from what I can remember, I don't think they give anything major away. If it's new, I think if they talk, because they do talk about old movies where they would. I mean, understandably, I feel like with old movies, if you haven't seen them by now, then sure, people are going to talk about like the big things in them.
Yeah. Past Lives is coming onto Netflix this month. Normal Gossip's favourite podcast at the moment. We had a big moment with Normal Gossip last year, didn't we? We really enjoyed it. We stopped this, the one where they talk about like local stories, and it's an American podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, wasn't we like we listened to that on like when we was on a few like car
holiday,
journeys, weren't we? Like
Abigail said, "Did you watch the new Chicken Run?" No, we didn't, but Jonathan Ross really liked it. That was. I remember him saying that. Annika says, "I adored Past Lives. I cried all the way through." Rachel saying, "Bring back 90 minutes movies." Natasha says, "I'm going back home to Liverpool soon for Valentine's. What is the best film you've seen recently? Thinking of a cinema trip." I loved Poor Things. I loved All of Us Strangers.
I'd go and see American Fiction personally.
Yeah, David's saying American Fiction.
It's really good.
And Natasha also says The Keeper by Graham Norton was great. Absolutely great book, isn't it? Lauren, you just trying to summon Daphne ended up summoning my Juliet. Daphne's gone now. She's not even interested.
I just felt her underneath
Oh,
me.
did you? Is she under there? Hello, what are you doing under there, you little cheeky? Come on. Come and show everybody your face. You're so cute. I think movies longer than 2 hours should have an intermission. Yeah, I would say. Melly loved Killers of the Flower Moon and Oppenheimer. Neither felt too long for me. Enjoyed every bit of it. Two of my top films of last year. Maestro is another great contender for best film. Maestro is another film that I would like to watch.
We need to watch that for the Oscars.
Right, it's 20:47. Shall we go till 9?
Yeah. I did just want to say, somebody said about intermissions.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my Saturday morning, like, when I used to go and watch movies at my Saturday morning cinema club, like, when they show, like, The Mask and things like that, we used to have an intermission.
Did you?
Yeah, it was lovely. Just go and have a little wee, go and get a drink.
There's some cheekiness going on here, isn't there?
It should be done.
We've got 13 minutes. So somebody's asked me about my clothes challenge. Ask me again once we've done 13 minutes.
Hold on, let me check how long the chapters. I'll let you know how long I need. 4. Let's go 5 past.
Well, I'm going to go till 9 and then I'm going to go to the toilet
All right,
and then you can have till 5
All
past.
right.
So yeah, when we come back, ask me again about the clothes challenge because I would like to talk about that. But yeah, so I'm going to read until the end of this chapter and then I'm going to start on Welcome to St. Hell, which is a graphic novel. So let's go. Who's Bam Margera?
Hmm?
Who's Bam Margera?
Bam Margera is a guy who's in the Jackass crew, but he got heavily into drugs, and what is that?
They just mentioned him in here.
Okay,
I've never heard of him before.
Yeah, he was a member of the Jackass crew, but he's not in it anymore. He started to film with them because, like, majority of all the crew now are all like recovering alcoholics and drug addicts and stuff, and so they got on set, but he was still taking drugs, so they were just like, "Sorry, mate, you're gonna have to go."
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I simply can't wait a moment longer for the wee. I need to go. Shove up. What are you up to?
Like her paw just popped out as she grabs as she tried to get the headphone cable.
This won't last very long, so make the very most of her being here. Here she is.
Oh, she's gonna get a really cool one.
Sit down. Oh, see, look, you like that.
That's it. Oh,
Is that
maybe you're
nice?
not running away. That's good.
Is that nice, my little grey girl? I mean, no.
Oh, nearly. Nearly. She lasted a few seconds.
Back to it. How many more pages you got, David?
About 3.
We'll give it another 4
Three and a bit.
minutes, guys. Well done. I'm really enjoying this, by the way. This is Welcome to St Hell, my trans teen misadventure by Lewis Hancock. It's about Lewis's childhood living in St Helens, and when Lewis was born a girl, and always knew that he wanted to be male, and this is him at school negotiating that alongside your normal school stuff, alongside your mum and dad going through divorce, etc, etc. Something that's really interesting, which I'm hoping is explored a bit more, was that Lewis mentions that his mum used to read him Harry Potter when he was younger, and he felt that it had a lot of misfits in it that were like him. So I'm interested to see if that comes back. But yeah, that's really bloody good so far. How's yours going, David?
Yeah, good.
You're into it now, are you?
Yeah, I'd say I'm into it now.
He's into it. He's pledged to me that he will pledge to me. I mean, he has. I've pledged to him. I pledged to him that I'll watch a film at home a week and a film in the cinema a week. And David's pledged to me that he'll read a book a month. And so far, so good.
Well, haven't you... Isn't there one you haven't done?
No. The only time I didn't do it, I thought we meant new to me films. So one week we saw Wonka, but we still went to the cinema and saw a film.
Oh, yeah.
So the only week that, because I was like, oh, that doesn't count. I said we'd go and see a new film, but we still went to the cinema.
Oh, yeah.
And we just saw Wonka. So my pledge is go to the cinema to see a film a week and watch a film at home a week.
I pledge allegiance to my wife.
I pledge allegiance to my wife. So yeah, let me have a look and see how you're getting on.
Yeah. It's
Well
very
done.
Good. So I think I've maybe now kind of caught up with the first couple of chapters.
Yeah.
Which is what I like. I now, I can kind of see why they maybe have done
There was a big moment where I was like, oh my God.
Well, so we just found out that the head...
Don't, in case people want to read it.
Yeah, that's very true, sorry.
We'll talk about it afterwards. Yeah. And you can tell me what you just found.
Yeah.
Woo!
Sorry, guys.
Right, so yeah. So how's everyone else getting on with their reading? But I will launch into how I'm getting on with the clothes challenge, because I knew I needed to mention that. So if you don't know, over on Instagram, I am wearing a different outfit every single day of the year without buying anything new. So if I need to, I may well buy some second-hand stuff. But at the moment, it's going very well. We've done January and I managed to wear 31 different outfits, and we are now into February and it's still going very well. So I've also, what I've been trying to do is combo the outfit. So only getting only getting like 3 pairs of jeans out or 3 bottoms out of the of my wardrobe, and then trying to combo them with loads of different things so that it's not a massive mashup. And I've got a rail in my room which I'm keeping on top of. But yeah, I'm so pleased that you guys are enjoying watching me do that fashion challenge. I love clothes and I love dressing up, even when I'm like at home. I mean, today I'm at home by myself, just putting this on, thinking, oh yeah, well, I'm doing something bookish, so I'll wear something bookish. And then I knew this was like a rainbow. I got this for Christmas, and I knew this was like a rainbow top, and I was like, I haven't worn my Lucy and Yak jeans for ages. These will go really well. So yeah, very much enjoying it. So if you aren't already following, over on Instagram, I'm Lauren.and_the_looks. And that's where I'm doing a fashion challenge, and I do a little reel every day with a little song with me awkwardly dancing about, and then I did a whole reel of all the outfits I wore in January, and I very much enjoyed that a lot because I thought it looked so professionally done, David. It really did. So yeah, so hopefully you'll go over there and have a follow, but thank you for checking in on it because I'm very much enjoying it. Pam says, I read 10 pages of Space, the Human Story by Tim Peake. Loving it. It's basically about how astronauts came to be astronauts. David hates Tim Peake.
Oh, it was... I don't hate him. He was just...
he was everywhere at some point, wasn't he?
All he talks about is the same thing.
What, going to space, which is amazing.
Oh, loads of people have been to space now.
Sorry, Pam.
Get a new hobby, Tim.
Millie says about halfway through Wolf Den, loving it. Heidi says, I'm doing a year of second-hand clothes only, and it's been heavily inspired by your second-hand fashion finds. Thank you so much. Because I've set myself, because David and I are also saving a lot of money this year, I've set myself a little like pocket money that I don't get until payday, and my pocket money for January was £10, and I don't get any pocket money until the end of February. So anything I want to buy, including cleaning products, come out of that £10. So I can still buy food and things like that, but my cleaning products are included in that £10. And without even thinking, this is how easily I was spending money. I was on Vinted and bought a pair of trousers, second hand, so it's fine. Pair of like a co-ord set, like a pair of trousers and like a kimono type thing from when Fern Cotton used to have a range with Very. I used to own a lot of Fern Cotton's clothes that she did with Very. They were very well made and very expensive, but this was £10 for a pair of trousers. A pair of trousers and a kimono. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy that. Bought it, and then I was like, oh my god, I haven't got any spending money until the end of. I haven't got any pocket money until the end of February, so I've spent that already. But otherwise, because when I went into the charity shop during the week, I would have absolutely got myself one of those jumpers, I think. But I'd already spent my £10 for the month. So if I want any jumpers, I've got to have a look. But when we were in the charity shop, despite it being closed and no one telling us that it was closed, and we were just browsing in there, I felt like I took a lot more time looking at stuff rather than looking at a rail thinking, no, there's nothing for me on there, no. Like, I felt like I had a good time. David had an absolute find. He got a £3 brand new Uniqlo shirt, which is lovely and soft.
It's beautiful.
Still with the labelling for £30. Bargain. Dave got very excited because as bigger people, you don't...
I think
for men in particular.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you find loads of stuff in charity shops, but yeah, as a guy who wears XXL, a lot of it is not great. It's all pretty like basic stuff that I would never wear. So when I do come across things like that, I do get very excited. Like because I bought a couple of like a spring autumnal jacket with blue thing, which I really loved, and then that brown one that I got not from a cancer research shop, but from one when we was going on holiday.
That
was more expensive.
Well
I think that was like
20,
that was £20, but
it must have come from. I think it came from. Do you remember when the Vineyard used to be a men's clothing shop?
No, I don't.
Oh, it was.
Oh, sorry, the pub. Yeah.
And it was so expensive and everything in there. And it looks to me, based on the label and everything like that, I think it was from like a men's outfitters. Yeah. And it was £20, but I think it's absolutely...
Oh, yeah, it's lovely quality, and I think it will last me forever.
So, yeah. You don't very well with that.
Yeah.
Another person asking where this cardigan's from. It's from Sainsbury's. I got it from just before Christmas, so hopefully it's still in there. But yeah, David's sister bought it for me for Christmas, so I know it was in there before Christmas. Are we saving for anything in particular? We are. We are saving to buy this house, which is exciting, but intimidating. And David and I, notoriously bad with money throughout our 20s and 30s, so I'm paying the price for it now. So, yeah, we're doing that. Pam says, though this book is mostly about the early astronauts and cosmonauts and the early days of exploration, is what the Tim Peake book is about. It's not all about Tim, it's about other astronauts.
Yeah, but he's written it though, isn't he?
He's written it. It's all about Tim.
No.
For a book podcast, Father-Daughter, The Bookcase, Charlie Gibson and his daughter, he used to host GMA for 7 years. Oh, thank you. Jennifer says, my friend is a professional organiser and she helped me sort my wardrobe last year, so I decided to try and wear every item in my wardrobe this year once more, and I turned the hanger around the other way. It's a great idea, and I was using it last month because another thing I'm trying to do is wash my clothes less. So unless things have directly touched a pit, so like these sort of things, I'm not going to wash them.
I do that.
So you do that, do you?
I do that if I wear, because I often wear like t-shirts and a shirt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, that shirt or jumper, I wouldn't chuck in the wash.
So I'm trying not, unless it gets like a stain or something on it. I'm just trying to, because I'm also trying to, so otherwise I feel like because we don't have much drying space, we've got an airer in the room at the moment. Otherwise, we've just got a fucking airer on the go all the time. So I'm trying to limit the time that we do washing until basically the weekend.
Yeah.
And that I'm hopefully that will be doing it as well. So yeah. Barbara says, read 20 pages of Tales of the City, book 10 in the series coming out soon, so I decided to start it again and read all the books, like one a month. That's my big series project for 2024. Sounds amazing. Pam says, on a separate note regarding my book, looking at the photos, and Yuri Gagarin was fine as hell. He was such a big... Do you remember Yuri Gagarin? The astronaut, like, big in the 90s, weren't he?
No, Yuri Geller.
No, not Yuri Geller. Who's Yuri Geller? The one who used to bend the spoons?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not him. Yeah, I do remember. I'm a 2XL lady. Oh, do I feel your pain, David? Yeah, I bet. And also, like, even as someone who's a size 16 or 18, like, a lot of the stuff in the shop is, like, very stretched old stuff as well. So, like, yeah, and there's... When I look at what's she doing? Playing with her ball? cute. When I look at the rails, they've got like rails and rails and rails of like size 8, 10, 12 and 14 stuff, and then like such small amount of 16 and 18 stuff. And most people are a size 16. That's the thing that I don't get.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Where's the XXL boys with a bit of style?
Amber says, my co-worker and I just had a conversation last week about how the women's section in thrift shops is huge and the men's section is 3 things. Yeah, David does that.
Yeah.
Katie says, that's exciting though. I'm the same, wishing I'd made some better decisions with money in the past, but trying to fix it now. While trying to save for a wedding. Listed a lot of stuff on Vinted today though. Oh, well done, Katie.
Yeah, us saving for the wedding has kind of buoyed us a bit with this, hasn't it?
We didn't really we were very good at saving for the wedding, and then last year we had a bit more of a spendy year. We decorated in here, which and the bedroom and the office, so we knew we'd be spending a little bit of that. And I think because we've been so good with not spending for a couple of years, I had a sort of bit of a year where I was like, oh, well, if I want that, I'll get it. So this year I'm being very good with just setting myself a little bit of spending money every month. And that spending money does sort of like get a little bit more as the year goes on as well. So like when I run out of cleaning products, which I will do eventually, like I'm going to have a little bit more spending money in like April when that runs out, so hopefully I'll be able to do it. So I set myself a little budget every month is what I'm saying. Any book series you want to get into this year? Yeah, The Warden, the Barchester Chronicles, I'm very keen to read those. The Warden is the first one. I would have started that already, but I've just got so many library books out at the moment that that's just taken over. So I think that's going to be in the second half of the year, which is absolutely fine. That's when I read all of the Caslow Chronicles in the second half of the year. I'd also like to give the Daughters of the Forest series another go. I read the first book of that on my e-reader years ago, but I own the first book, so I'd like to do that. They're big though. And I keep thinking about the Mirror Visitor series as well, which I own all 4 of them, either in proofs or actual finished books. They're French YA fantasy, and I always said, because my parents have got a place in France, oh, if we ever go to France again, maybe I'll take those 4 and read them. But the truth is, we ain't ever going to France again, are we? It's too long to go and not anything to do. Let's have a look. Homeschool and Countryside said, we recently got a dehumidifier with a drying setting on it. It really does help speed up clothes drying and very cheap to run. On page 110 of Penance by Eliza Clark at the Mo, good but dark. Yeah, I keep hearing this, big fluff. I keep hearing this about dehumidifiers, that they're amazing for drying clothes. However, they're a bit expensive. So maybe that's something that I will invest in for a later time, because if you have them next to your airers, then that's good. I mean, we've got a heated airer and it's very, very useful, but again, it dries clothes in like 5 to 6 hours. If you leave it overnight, then it will be ready to go.
Yeah.
So at the moment we've got an airer full of clothes, and then over the top of that I've got a sheet that we washed our bed sheets today.
And it normally makes the living room quite warm in the morning.
Yeah, so in the winter it's quite nice because of an evening we can sit in here with the airer on, and it's drying the clothes, and also it works as a warmer. So Lindsay says, I used to think that Yuri Gagarin and Yuri Geller were the same person, and that the astronaut could bend spoons. Dan said, I'm 20 and can never. I'm at 20 and can never find stuff for me in charity shops. Yeah, I know. It's annoying. Barbara says, I'm using an app called Plum to set money aside. The good thing is you can set up different rules for saving money. Dan says, do you rent off a private landlord who'll give you the time needed to save? Yes, we do. And yes, we've got a very good relationship with our private landlord. They allowed us to decorate in this way because that's what started the conversation. So we said we wanted to decorate, and they were pleased with what we'd done in the past. We decorated both the bathrooms and the hallway, and we showed them what they wanted to do, and they were like, it's lovely, but if we've ever got to sell that, we're going to have issues because this is very of a certain taste, isn't it? So we were like, oh, well, maybe if you ever want to sell it, we'd like to buy it. So we're getting a certain amount of time in order to save to do that. So, yeah. Pam said, For All Mankind on Apple Plus was great. It's an alternative history where USSR beat America to the moon. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. We haven't got it
at the moment. That's not to say we won't get it again.
Though.
There's
no,
a free
we might
trial
do.
or something going.
Yeah.
Emily says, I want to read them also. The Warden sounds amazing. Enjoyed watching the redecorating. Well done, thank you. You've inspired me to get to books 2 to 5 of Steve Kavanagh's Eddie Flynn series. David, I think you read 13, which was book 4. I read it too, then realised it was a series. I do remember you reading a book called 13. Or you had it. He doesn't remember anything. He can't remember anything about his childhood, anything about a book he read. What happened in Ryland's book last month?
Oh, he just goes on about how much of a laugh he is and
how
how
down to
earth and normal he is in every single chapter. No matter what that chapter is about. The chapter could be about his mum. and I mention it, but I still like it though.
Yeah, you do still like it.
But yeah, not as a novelist.
Lovely stuff. Right, well, is your next chapter quite long, David?
Oh, let me have a check.
We're all just waiting.
Quite long. Oh, next bit is part 2. Oh.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, quite a long.
Let's go until
What's the time now?
it's almost 20 past. Should we go till 1:45? 25 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll go for 25 minutes. I'm going to start, but I'm just going to go and get a glass of water first. Would you like a glass of water? We're going till 1:45.
Yes, please.
What are you doing in here? What have you got? Come in. Is it a bit it's a bit of bloody pasta. Dried pasta on the floor she's playing with.
What
Chuck her
shape?
toys away. She just wants to play with
What
dried
shape?
pasta. One that I emptied into the thing. I'll go and get it. She doesn't.
She's cheeky.
I
Thank
emptied
you.
the pasta twists that you bought in.
Oh, okay, it's one of them. I did wonder the noise. Wasn't sure what noise what toy it could be. That was funny.
Pasta, you don't eat pasta. It's gone in the bin. I feel bad, but it's gone in the bin.
Yeah, be right. I'll give her another one tomorrow. Right, so what's the first? Because we know.
I'm going to read this till page 100 and then I'm going to go back to the curfew. I'm very much enjoying this though. than you, David.
Better than me.
something.
Damn.
Finished a bit early.
Oh, how about one? I need to go
Is
for
that
a
your
wee.
tummy I can hear?
Yeah, it's making all sorts of noises, isn't it? It's going mad.
Are you going to the toilet?
Yeah.
We'll keep going till 1:45, guys, so David's going to go to the loo. Don't flick in case you see something new. Spoiler.
No, I'm going back.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I know who the gunman is.
Oh.
I thought about it earlier, and I think I know.
Okay. Go to the toilet. We've got 4 minutes until we'll wrap it all up.
Alright, cool. Wrap this mother up.
So,
Done?
how are you getting on?
Yeah, good. So I've done part one.
Are you glad that you've
Yes.
persevered?
Yeah.
And you're pleased that it's happened?
Yeah.
Because somebody
Well,
said...
no, I'm not pleased it's happened.
No, as in you're pleased that you've
I
had
cracked
tonight
on.
and you've got...
Yeah.
You're pleased at this, So Liz says, have you gotten into the book, David? As she's put it on the TBR, so would you recommend it so far?
On the verge of yes. But, like, I'm in it, but it took me a little while.
Yeah, I think it does take a little while. I was just
Yeah.
into it instantly. But I think with things like this, you have to keep going with them as well. So tonight's probably been a good opportunity for you to. Are you going to read any more tonight before you go to bed or anything?
No, probably not.
No, probably not. I'd rather just scroll on my phone for TikTok.
Well, no, I'm off tomorrow, so
Oh, of course he's off tomorrow. You're going to do a bit of reading tomorrow?
maybe. I will at least tomorrow night when we go to bed.
I get you're off tomorrow. Does that mean you're going to cook dinner?
I mean, I normally cook dinner on Mondays anyway, to be fair.
Do you? On a Monday. How lovely. Lucy's off. I enjoyed Cosy Read tonight. Live show. Goodbye. Goodbye, Lucy. I have been enjoying the curfew. I've read about 150 pages of it and then 100 pages of Welcome to St House. So it's been, I thought you were putting your hand up to talk then. Yes, David. So yes, a very fruitful evening, considering we've sort of been reading and chatting as well. Very, very enjoyable. How many pages would you say you have read?
I can tell you exactly how many I've read.
Oh yeah, do tell me. I'm going to stretch my leg out. Am I going to watch Call the Midwife after this?
I've read 52 pages.
Well done. Well done indeed.
I'll take that.
I do very much enjoy excuse me. I have to have a bit of David's water, I'm so sorry. I do enjoy reading a crime thriller or a thriller book. Like, as I was sitting here reading it, I was thinking about how rarely I read these things. Like, I read this might have been the only sort of like thriller book I read last year and I absolutely loved it. I'm not absolutely loving this like I'm loving this, but I do love the page-turnery nature of these things and how you get to the end of the chapter and you're like, all right, one more chapter because I've just got to see what's going on. And I think I probably would go to more T.M. Logan stuff. I particularly enjoy stuff that's set in the UK, and I also particularly enjoy stuff that doesn't have violence against women, as a lot of these books sadly do. This one, I mean, there's indirect violence against women and like allusions to it, but it's not like this woman had her head bashed in and now we're going to find out what this poor bloke, why he killed her, that sort of thing. So yes, I'm enjoying that. And I'm very much enjoying this. Very funny, very readable. Experiences that I haven't experienced myself. Growing up, being the gender that was assigned to me at birth, but found this very interesting. And I like the way that it's sort of, it's almost like broken the fourth wall. So this is about, this is Lewis Hancock's graphic memoir of when he grew up as a girl, because he was assigned female at birth and he is male. There's a bit in here where he's sort of broken the fourth wall with his parents and his dad's like, hold on, I don't think I'm coming off particularly well in this. And then the mum's like, you're not coming off well, I'm just in my bloody dressing gown all the time. This ain't fair, don't believe a word of it.
That was good.
At least he's not always in a flipping dressing gown. So yeah, I quite enjoy that. So I think
cute.
this is going to be good fun. So there we go. That's what she's been reading. Let's have a look. Pam says, I read the majority of another short story in the Winter Spirits. Great. David's book isn't available on audio, at least here or Kindle, so I won't be reading it. That's a shame, Kate, but keep an eye out for it. Oh, hiccups. Bess, any thoughts about what you'll be reading for the Irish Readathon? No, I need a deeper look into it. I had a look at the prompts. I haven't watched Aoife's video yet where she announces it, but I saw her Instagram post. The group read, The Rachel Incident, was a book I read last year and absolutely loved. It was one of my best books of the year. I listened to the audiobook of that, so if anyone is planning on reading that for the Irish Readathon, the audiobook was brilliant. But I do have Promising Young Women by Caroline Donahue, who's the author of The Rachel Incident, so I will be reading that. And I've also got, which I've been hanging on to, Diary of a Young Naturist. What's a nudist? Naturist or naturalist? One of the one that isn't a nudist, by Dara McNulty. I bought that in a charity shop and I've been hanging on to it to read for. So those two at least. Not sure what else. I need to sort of match a few things up. Oh, and hopefully Carla, which is one of the. Oh, I need to check actually what run if somebody's here who's in Patreon Book Club, what won the Patreon Book Club poll? Was it Carla or was it Into the Woods? There we go. Nia says, I enjoyed Emma in the Night by Wendy Walker. Was a page turner and full of big twists. Thank you. Kate says, same for curfew. I need someone to read to me, Alexa or narrators. That's a shame that that's not on there. Maybe because they're both British books, I guess. Thoroughly enjoyed book says, I got my daily quota of Babel read tonight. I'm doing a group read with some BookTube friends and I've listened to a bit of Satanic Verses. So I would say tonight's been successful. Great. Dan says if you haven't done Prophet Song, it's brilliant and would fit in the Irish Readathon. Thank you so much. I think I can't look because of my phone. What's the author of Prophet Song? Because I think I've got a reservation on that for the audiobook through Borrow Box. If you say the author, I will say yes, I definitely have.
Paul Lynch.
Paul Lynch. Yeah, thank you, David. Yes, I've got, thank you, Dan, I've got a reservation on that. Robin said, thank you for scheduling a Cosy Reading Night. I've seen there is a local club that meets for silent reading events. I keep seeing about these. I would bloody love one of those. I keep thinking I should go to one, but that means leaving the house. Yeah, I do keep thinking, maybe I could put one on. I could ask the Abbey.
What's the silent reading event?
Where everyone just goes and takes their books and just has a read.
Yes.
I could ask the local I could ask the local cafe if they'd like to host one. And everyone just takes their book along and just reads all night quietly, but in company. Wouldn't that be lovely? Right, Carla won. Great. Well, I'm pleased for that. That's good. So that's what won the Patreon book club. So if you'd like to join Patreon book club for this month we're reading Sunny, but next month we are reading Carla. So yeah, if you'd like to join for either of those, please do join Patreon book club. Martha says, I've never done the Irish Readathon. What do you love about it? Well, I love Ireland, and it's run by Aoife and Leanne and somebody who I didn't recognise actually, and I love their YouTube channels, and yeah, it's just a good way to celebrate Irish authors, and yeah, really enjoy it. I've always really enjoyed it, and it sort of kicks off a great month of reading for me. So I read the Irish Readathon at the top of March, which will also probably be reading non-fiction stuff. If there's any Irish non-fiction that's on the non-fiction long list, I'll read that for the Irish Readathon as well, and then we go into the Women's Prize long list. Very exciting. Jennifer said, I read Aquacorn Cove in that reading, in the last reading session. It's the same author as the Tea Dragon Society. It was so cute. Yeah, I've read the Tea Dragon Society. I need to read more of that. Natasha says it was Carla. Barbara says, I will read Carla since it's both the book club read and it fits a prompt. What prompt does it fit, please, Barbara? Katie says, oh nice, I've already put a reservation on Carla at the library. Dan says it's Paul Lynch. David beat me to it. Martha's placing the reservation for Carla now. Jenny says, Prophet Song was so good, very Irish and no speech marks, a fave of mine but very controversial. Oh, well then that will work even better for me when I'm listening to it on audio. Carla was also excellent. I read it while recovering from surgery and it really managed to hold my very painkillered up attention. Oh, that's good to hear. Have you read Queen of Dirt Island? No, I haven't. Amber said, I've just bought a couple of Claire Keegan books, so I might join in the Irish Readathon this year. Oh yeah, absolutely do. I've still got Antarctica by Claire Keegan to read, and I've also got a reservation on, which I've read before, so it'll be a reread. Oh my God, what's Claire Keegan's, she's done 2 novellas. One is called So Late in the Day, which I read in January, and there's another one, which I've already read, but I've forgotten it, but I've got that on reservation as well.
What was it, sorry?
Claire Keegan.
Small Things Like These.
Small Things Like These, thank you, David. And then I've got a reservation on Foster as well at the library, which for an older book, I'm like 17th in the row.
Antarctica.
Antarctica, I own Antarctica. Do you like the front cover of Antarctica?
It's cute.
It is, got a cat on it. So Kate says, I love listening to the Irish hosts, lovely accents. Dan says, Lauren, I think you will love Queen of Dirt Island by an Irish author as well, Donnell Ryan. Thank you, Dan. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Martha says, I didn't realise it started on YouTube. Can someone share the links to those YouTube channels, please? Please do, Martha, if anyone can share it. If not, Aoife's channel is called Words of Clover, and Leanne's channel is called Leanne Rose. Foster, says Caroline Chat. Kate forgot to vote, need to reserve Carla. Antarctica is one of the books I just bought, says Amber. Foster is so good. The film version of that was also amazing. It's called The Quiet Girl. I will add that to my list of books. I haven't got a pen, otherwise I would add that. The Quiet Girl. How am I going to remember that? The Quiet Girl. The opposite of me. The Quiet Girl. Lovely stuff. Right, so there we go. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I know we've still got 6 minutes left, so it's been lovely. There will be another one of these coming up in spring, just out of interest. And this won't affect what happens with the spring one, but do you prefer Cosy Reading Nights as a live event like this, or do you prefer watching the vlog back afterwards? Do you prefer it being sort of like, and then me being like active on Instagram and, well, not Twitter anymore because I'm not on Twitter, but like being active on Instagram, or do you prefer them to be live like this? Just let me know. David, same question but to you.
I don't know, I think maybe a vlog for me.
Yeah, like I said, I like the immediacy of this, and I like the community of us all reading together, and
That's
and it
also
being
very true.
Yeah, because even like the Cosy Reading Night still runs at that time, even if we're not all live together. But yeah, maybe I do prefer the lives. Maybe I do. It's a lot to be on for 3 hours though. Like to have, it's lovely to have you guys here in our lounge.
I've had to
but
hold
it's a
in
lot,
all my pop-offs.
He's had to hold in all his bloody pop-off, poor thing. Right. Beth says this has been wonderful, perfect way to wrap up the weekend. Lindsay says live. Everyone's saying live. But then I guess if you prefer the vlogs, you're probably not watching the live.
That's true.
Live. Oh my god, definitely live. It makes me feel like I have friends. Live. Thank you for Fab Cosy Reading Night. I prefer the live shows. It's like I'm talking friends. Live, definitely live. I prefer live because it's more of an event. Live. Live event is great because I sit with a friend to read. Lovely Cosy Reading Night. Got to page 74 of Nothing Can Hurt You by Nicola May Goldberg. I love the live version. Bookish Bron. Lovely to see you live, but the time from Australia is terrible, so it's good to get something on your channel. Yeah, I bet. Love them as lives. Maybe do a shorter live of its touch. It's so nice that 250 of us sat reading together. I know. Live. I love the lives, but happy with a vlog as well. Martha loves both. Jennifer loves a mixture of both. Yeah, I think so. We'll have a look and see what happens with the spring one. There will be one in spring, so that'll be in either March, April or May. I haven't found out when. I quite like doing them on a Sunday. I also quite like doing them on a Friday because it reminds me of during lockdown when we were like, Friday nights, Cosy Reading Night. So I don't know when the next one will be. Midweek's a bit more difficult for people, I know, particularly with the time difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
And our weekday evenings are quite busy now, aren't they? With like movie plans and with choir and you doing all about the archers.
All about the archer stuff, yeah.
There's a lot that goes on during the week now, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining. It's been an absolute joy, and I've got loads and loads of reading done. What's your plan now, David?
Maybe play, unless you want to watch Call the Midwife, then we can watch that.
Do I want to watch Call the Midwife?
And do some more cross-stitching?
Yeah, I feel a bit cross-stitched out at the moment.
Okay.
I bit my nails down too far, and it's a bit painful to do the cross-stitch. Because I've done my nails down too far.
Yeah, but you don't use your nails to do
No,
cross-stitching.
I know, but I don't know, with the thread and stuff, it just feels like they're a bit sore.
Okay.
Right, cool. So I will see you all again soon. So just to let you know, there'll be a vlog going up on Wednesday of Friday reading vlog, which I haven't bloody edited or wrapped up. So I need to do that and edit that tomorrow, maybe. And I think that's it for the week. There's nothing else going. There's the Lauren Dot and the Looks Instagram account. I'll write that on here because I feel like I'm making that sound harder than it is. Lauren Dot and the Looks. That's over on Instagram. If you'd like to go and follow the Old Fashioned Challenge. David is Beardy David on Letterboxd and Instagram. If you'd like to go and follow either of those. And yeah, thanks so much for joining us. And I'll see you on Wednesday for another BookTube video. The Quiet Girl, and I need to check that I've reserved profits on. Oh, and the Queen of Dirt Town. Bye. Say bye, David.